Good morning, good morning, good morning. I have YouTube just waiting for everybody to jump on. I'm about a few minutes late. We're still working through the technology. Those of you that are on, when you get on, tell me who you are so I can greet you properly. Good morning as you come on. Just tell me who you are so I can greet you properly. Delta Blake. Chantel, what up, cuz? Good morning. So, I don't know. Can you invite people on YouTube? Can you invite people? So, the whole YouTube thing is it's new to me as it relates to what I do. Um, I'm normally on Facebook. The YouTube thing is new. Edith Hodges, good morning. Rhonda Oliver, good morning. So the whole YouTube thing is new to me. Um, and I've got to be honest to you. I started this particular channel I started a year ago, but I have another channel that I started probably 10 years ago. And I never would fool with YouTube because just truthfully, when you jump on YouTube and you don't see no numbers, that's discouraging. When I jump on Facebook, I get 15, 20, 30, depending on the topic, depending on the day, 40, 50, 60. Last week we got up to like 80 on a live that I did. So it depends on the topic, but there's a faithful 20 to 30 people that follows me uh, every time I go live on Facebook. So when you jump on YouTube and nobody's on, that's very disheartening, very discouraging. So I would not do it. And then of recent, of course, we are waiting for the first show to air. This first show is going to air this month. I'm just waiting to hear from them as to what the date is going to be. I'm excited about that with Sony. God has blessed us, given us favors. He's given us a platform with Sony, and I'm grateful for that. So I'm waiting for them to give me the date when it's going to air. Uh, because for me, it's been a long time coming. It's been one thing after another, and I get it. With the pandemic, with everything that is going on in our world, there's been a lot of delays. So I'm not rushing that. I understand the process. And they started talking about advertising and some of the things that I had to do on my end. And when they start talking about that, they brought up YouTube. So I had to reach out to the YouTube professionals as to what I needed to do. There were classes that they wanted me to take, and I'm like, man, I turn my channel on and grow it. But there is a process that you have to go through, and this is the process. So thank you all for being patient with me. Thank you for growing with me. Thank you for those encouraging words, Rhonda Oliver. Give it a minute. It will grow. I believe that it is growing. We're up to, I checked this morning. I've been willing to change. We are up to give me a second, I'll tell you. We're up to 106 subscribers. Here's the beauty about that 106. I'm grateful for them. We have 851 more to go. I need 1,000 subscribers. And we're going to get it, and we're going to get it in a small period of time. DeJuan McIntyre, good morning. So if you could, different people that have joined in the coffee time. They share it. I need you to be agents, uh, marketing agents for me to help me get the word out. Encourage your friends at work, wherever. Encourage them to subscribe to the channel and make sure they hit that bell so they'll know when we go live. That's really important because what they're going to do, they're going to link my YouTube, my Facebook, a couple other sites, my website. They're going to link all that stuff together, and it's going to be one big place where you'll be able to go, and it's going to have a direct link to the TV show. And they're doing all that for advertising. They're setting me up, but I've got to do the work. So I need your help in that. And thank you so much for your support. Thank you for helping me out. Tanya Rogers, I'm glad you made it. So this morning, I want to talk about just keep going. I've had some interesting things on this journey that I'm going to share with you this morning. I've not, contrary to what many of you think, I've not always done the right thing. I've not always done the right thing. There are times in the face of difficulty. I tried to subscribe, but forgot my password. It's written on paper at home. I'll try it later. Okay, and if you don't get it, just, Dewan, create another account so you can subscribe. I need your subscription. Thank you so much. I've not always done the right thing. There are times in the face of adversity, I just flat out fail. There are times I failed relationally, meaning I've been in relationships sometimes for the wrong reason. A couple of relationships I was in, I'm sorry, y'all. I have a tech guy, and he's working with me to try and make this a pleasurable experience. And he was telling me that I look too dark. I'm not sure why I look too dark. But there have been times when I've been in relationships for the wrong reason. I remember one time in particular, I was dating a young lady. Started out, I liked her, and I don't know. She was very supportive for what I do. You got to understand, I've been at this for 10 years. I've been at this for 10 years. This social media, radio, I've been at it for 10 years. Been in radio a little longer than 10 years, but the social media part of it, it's been about 10 years. So in the embryonic stages, we had started a relationship, and she followed me on social media. And she used to tell me all the time how great the information was. She was like, oh man, she got to tell her family about this. So she told her family about me. We started to date. Listen to this. When we were trying to, basically every stage requires a greater commitment, not just from me, but from those that are linked to me. And we had moved from one phase to another phase, and some doors had begun to open for syndication in radio. All right. When those doors started to open, then my social media platform began to grow. and doors start opening there. So there was certain equipment we needed. If you're going to do syndication radio, me and a couple of the co-hosts were going to be in separate states. So there's equipment that you needed. And I simply started asking my viewers to help, financial support, like I do now. We were a little short of the goal, and we end up, I think about $5,000 came in, which was huge for people to be given on social media. That is huge. And she gave, if I'm not mistaken, she gave about $2,500 because we were dating. I broke it off. She got mad. She wanted all $2,500 back. I told her, I'm not giving that back to you. You gave that. I'm gonna do a live. I'm gonna do a live on gifts you give in a relationship when the relationship is over. Should those gifts be taken back? Should you give those gifts up? Now I'm gonna insert just a small amount of my opinion here. When you give a person a gift, when you're in the relationship, depending on what the gift is, it's a gift to them because how you feel about them and the relationship. The gift is given from your heart to them in the relationship. Now, depending on what the gift is, all gifts are not tied to the relationship. That's why I say it depends on what the gift is. For instance, if I buy us a house, you move in it, and I say, hey, when we get married, this is going to be the house where we live, and I move you in that house based on the contingency of us getting married. I move you in first until the marriage date. I bought the house because we're getting married. So, Delta, you crazy. I buy the house based on us getting married to build a family. Now, something happens and we break up. You don't get to keep that house. Lord have mercy. I need somebody to pray for me. You know, because the house is a result of future plans that we have. Because we're in a relationship, we break up. I may give you 6 months or less. I'm not just going to throw you out on the straight. But baby, you got 3 to 6 months, depending on the situation, depending on, are you working? Do you have kids? Because you got to get out of my house. I bought that house with plans of us getting married. We are no longer getting married. And because we're not getting married, and that was the basis or the contingencies of buying the house, then no, you can't keep that. No. Now, if I buy you a Rolex watch because you my boo, and it was a gift from me to you to express my love to you. If we break up, you keep the watch unless you cheated. Because my giving to you is because I believe you've been faithful to me. So because I believe you've been faithful to me, I want to reward you for how good you've been, how loyal you've been. So my giving is on the premises of me believing that you are not a thought. Lord help us today. I'm writing this text slowly. But I give you that gift and find out you cheating. The gift is based on my love for you, your faithfulness, you're kind, you've been a sweetheart. The moment I find out you've been unfaithful, no, unhand my gifts. Run me all my stuff back. Run it back. Run me my gifts back. Boo. Because you're not loyal. There was a prophet by the name of Chris Brown. Chris Brown said, these ain't loyal. Y'all know I'm telling the truth. No, it changes the narrative. Changes the narrative. You around here sharing your goodies with the community, and no, run me my gifts back. Bring it all back. If I gave you money, I want my money back. But if we broke up because we're not getting along, we come to a peaceful conclusion. This is just not good for us. We made a mistake. You know what I'm saying? And hey, I do love you, but this relationship is just not working. And we come to that conclusion together. Then every gift that I gave you, keep those gifts. Except the engagement ring. I need that back. That's not your ring. That's a promise ring that I was going to marry you. Now that the promise is broken, glory to God. Glory. That we're not getting married. Give me my engagement ring back. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Run it back to me. Now, what does that have to do with us and our topic this morning in terms of giving up? I need to go to Facebook and tell these people to come on here. They missing some good stuff. They really are. Y'all mind? Y'all mind if I log on Facebook and say, hey, we over here? Let me send them a message. So if you know if we end on peaceful terms, then everything that I said I was going, everything that I gave you, you can keep that. But we don't end on good terms, and trust was the issue. Now I want to give you a scenario what I would do if I was the one that cheated. Here's the problem. I understand being fair, doing both sides, but I'm not a cheater, so I can't give you that scenario. We're in a relationship. I'm faithful. I'm loyal. You are my world. You're my everything. I stop everything because of you. In you, I live, move, and have my being. That's the type of person that I am when it comes to relationship ships. So I don't do all that double dating, and even if I'm dating you. Now I'm of a different school. I can't date you and multiple people. Now, if we're dating with the intent of getting to know each other because I've expressed some level of interest in you, so we're dating with a purpose of getting to know, and there's a possibility it's going to be something here, I don't want to be distracted by nobody else. I don't. So you're going to be my focus. But if we're dating or going out on a, there's a difference between dating and going out on a date. I go out on a date with my son, with my daughter, with my mom. It's a date. It's an appointment. But when we are dating, that means we are actively pursuing each other. We've not established anything relationally, but the objective is to get to know each other because we believe something is there. This is how I am. I don't want to be distracted by anybody else, so I'm not going to be dating nobody else. Now, I've been in a situation where the other person didn't feel the way I still want to date other people. I do want to get to know you, but you never know how this is going to work out. Free, you do what you want to do. My convictions, I will not push my convictions on you. You have to do what you feel is right for you. Now, if I don't like what you're doing, I don't have to stay either. And that's why there has to be conversation. So in outlining these things as it relates to relationships, there are a lot of people that get burned because you go into a situation, you think it's one thing and it's another. You get burned in the situation because of a lack of understanding or a lack of communication. The communication can be there, but the understanding may not be. Either way, you get burned. Now you are afraid to date because of that experience. You can't do that. You got to keep going, even in dating, because that bad experience is sent to ruin you and to rob you of the future hope and expectation that you're supposed to have. I believe every time something bad happens, that means you're close to something good. And the bad has been sent as a distraction to get you off course, to play with your belief system or cistern of belief. Because if your system of belief can be disrupted because of foul play, that means you will never believe again. And because you're not going to believe again, what you're supposed to have that is going to come based on how you believe, you will never get it because you've been robbed based on previous experiences. So I really feel some kind of way. I feel some kind of way when we give up because we've experienced something that is less than what we've been expecting. So you can't stop dating because you ran into a few knuckleheads. Those knuckleheads are standing in the way of your purpose and your promise. It's just like business. Started a business, poured a lot of money in the business. The business was to serve the community. The business still serves the community. Hearts for Humanity, the Jacksonville Dream Center, we still serve the community. Now we're having to do it at a smaller capacity, but we're still serving our community. That has not changed. Now, the big building that we had before, we don't have now. We don't. Because things begin to happen financially. Now watch. So you start working on a business and it does not meet your expectation. In other words, what you were believing for it falls short of what you believe. So now you're not going to start another business because of failed expectations with this business. You can't do that. You can't. First of all, your life is not your own. And I know you think you're in the driver's seat. And yes, you do have a will. But if you're going to have happiness, you're going to have to live that business. You're gonna have to walk that out. Now it didn't pan out the way you expected it. It fell it fell prey to the less than. You had these big dreams for yourself, these great ideas, and it did not happen. Well, you can't give up because of that. You've got to take the wisdom from the bad experiences, from the less than experiences. You've got to get the wisdom out of that. Use that wisdom as a light for the future, and you got to keep going. You don't have permission to give up. I must say it again. You don't have permission to give up, family. I don't care what has ruined you, what has attacked you, what has come out against you. I never forget, man, I had some friends, and it's probably about 8. We were very close. We really were. And all of us worked at the same place. We looked out for each other. Then I got called. I was one of the managers at this particular organization. I was one of the managers. So I would look out for my friends who work for the same company. Hey, y'all, be careful with this, be careful with that, because, there was information that I was privy to, I would get in advance. And that information that I would get in advance, I couldn't tell them what was going on because that is a breach. I can't. I risk my future, my position as a manager, but I would give my friends a heads up. Hey, make sure y'all coming to work on time this week. Some change is getting ready to happen. Do not be late. Well, I had just got information. They was getting ready to fire people. They were going to go through their record. They were going to see who's been late to work, who's on a final, blah, 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 blah. And they were going to enforce it because they needed to downsize. And the reason they needed to downsize is to try and save money. So I was giving my friends a head up. I was that guy. I'm going to look out for my peeps. You know what I mean? I got called in the big office, and we had a disagreement as to how we should deal with the people that work under us. And there were some less than integrable things that were stated in that meeting that they wanted the managers to do. After the meeting was over, I was very calm, and I expressed to them my displeasure in the way that they wanted this business to be executed. Well, they took the position of saying, well, if you don't like how we're doing it, maybe this isn't the position for you. Maybe you shouldn't be a manager. That is never the card you want to play with me. And I don't think I'm big. I don't think I'm bad. I don't think I'm better than anybody else. That's not the card you want to play with me, because I know who butters my bread. Now, you might sign my check, but God is the hand that endorses it. And the same God that brought me here, he'll open up another door. So when they took that position with me and told me I shouldn't be a manager and maybe I need to go back to just being a regular employee, I explained to them, well, you asked my opinion, first of all. Secondly, just because we don't agree, you shouldn't automatically go after my position because of a disagreement. That's bullying. They didn't agree. They stated what they didn't. Long story, we came to an understanding that day. It was time for me to go. No, you're not going to demote me. I'm leaving the company. I left the company, and when I left, they met with the staff that worked under me and told all these lies about me. Well, the staff and I, we were friends before I had started working for that company. And I understand the loyalty that they had to have towards management to preserve their job. I get that, and that's what they were doing. They were being loyal to where their check was coming from. And I reached out to them clowns, and none of my friends responded. Now, I'm the one that kept them from getting fired. I'm the one that kept them off of getting their heads chopped off. There are many times they shouldn't even have a job, but I was able to preserve that job because of the position that I was in. I always gave them a heads up, and I just couldn't understand why they wouldn't answer my call. I called all of them separately. Then someone within the company basically told me, hey, man, basically they said that the stuff that you did with this business, that these people shouldn't be associated with you, that you did some foul stuff, man. And these people are afraid that if they be seen with you, it gets out that they are talking to you, they would lose their job. I understand that. I do understand that. And I understand that everybody's not like me. A company can't tell me who to talk to. Nobody can tell me who to talk to. God gave me a will. As wicked as America is, she gave me a right, freedom of choice. So you can't tell me who to talk to. Now listen to this. So I lost those friends. I lost those friends. And then they start coming back around. They found out everything that the company said was a lie. They start coming back around. Now I had a choice. I could have, hey, you remember what you did to me? Most of those people either left the company and I had to refer them to somewhere else, or a couple of them work for me now. Now, I could have held what they did against me. I chose to forgive, but I also chose for it to be a teaching moment. Here's what I'm saying. Some friends, you just going to have to forgive where they are, but don't you act like you didn't see what they did. Don't act like you didn't hear what they said. I'm not saying be dumb. I'm saying use wisdom and understand that there are some people that are going to be valuable to you that you cannot give up on. The relationship is bigger than the situation, or what you need out of the relationship is greater than the situation. Can't stop making friends because you had some friends to betray you. You can't stop, I'm not going to get no another job because this job didn't do me right. No, you can't do that. Can't do that. You've got to use wisdom. Sometimes, y'all, the situation that you keep getting hit with, there's a lesson in that you need to learn, and you're going to keep seeing that until you pass that test. So many times people do things to us. I'm not saying every time, but so many times people do things to us, and we look at the person like they're the test, when the test is a principle that's in motion. And you can jump from job to job. If you're going through the same thing, that's something that you need to pass so you can go to the next phase, to the next test, so you can be promoted. And a lot of times we look at the person instead of the principle. God will use anybody to test you. But there's a lesson that you're supposed to get in that testing. You can't dismiss the people. I had another experience. I had a family member to just say some less than nice things about me. I'm turning my head to the side because I want y'all to see the cut. I cut my hair this morning. Since the quarantine, I've been tasked with cutting my own hair. Listen, I went to school for cosmetology, so I used to cut hair. So don't come for me. I just figure I'd throw that out there for those that might. I did. Went to school, passed. I did. I cut hair for years and then I stopped. I've done a lot in my life. But anyway, I had a family member say some less than nice things to me. I can't stop being family with you because he decided to get testy about some stuff that was going on in our family. And you know, his heart was exposed when another family member died. He said some stuff, started raising his voice, getting crazy. And I'm sitting there thinking to myself, all right, watch your tone, doc. I'm not little Terry anymore. I'm bigger than you, stronger than you, and I will use my strength to crush you. That's what I was thinking when he was raising his voice. And I never forget the Holy Spirit telling me, let it go. Well, I didn't cancel them out as a family member because they were acting belligerent. No, the test really was for me, my patience, and letting love rule. What am I saying to you? You got to keep going. Stop being so sensitive and giving up on people, relationships, businesses, and ideas just because something happened to you and it didn't work out in your favor. You're bigger than that. You're stronger than that. You're better than that. You got to keep going. Just keep going. This pandemic, this epidemic, it's creating all kind of old craziness. I mean, people losing their mind. I say they're losing their mind. I did pretty good, Dewan. Let me show you the back. Huh? Won't he will? Won't he will? I did better than pretty good. My hair looks great. Anyway, people are losing their mind. You cannot allow people to dictate your mood. You have to take authority and have emotional intelligence, and you got to take authority of your own mind and not allow the stuff that people do to dictate your response or your reaction. Take charge of yourself. Ooh, she about made me snap on her. You can't be that person all the time. You should not be pushed to your limits every time someone tries you. You shouldn't. That means you're not in control of you. If a person has the power to dictate your response and your reaction, then they have the power over you. You're not in control. They are. People are going to be people. At work, at church, at home, people are going to be people. And let me tell you something that I know that is indicative of the personality of people. They're going to do something to tick you off. Just because they tick you off, you can't call the firing squad every time. You're going to read them every time, shoot units every time. And some of us, we will not say to them how we feel, but you give them that look. Well, your nonverbals say more than your mouth could, and you're in the same spirit. So the heart behind the mood is wrong. And just because you didn't verbalize it does not mean you pass. You still fail because your nonverbals tell me exactly what you're saying. You got to learn to be patient and long suffering with people. We don't like to suffer. Dewan say, pray for me. My boss is about to make me. So you got to ask yourself, why is your boss about to make you? What test is there to learn? Sometimes the test is to condition our attitude because we can't get promoted if the wrong stuff is found in us. I'm a firm believer. I'm a firm believer that promotion doesn't come from the east or west. I'm a firm believer that God sets one up and he'll pull one down. But your next level of greatness, it sits on the hinges of emotional intelligence and the discipline you develop. Some of us, we don't have patience. We've not developed discipline with our tongue, with our nonverbals. And as a result of that, every time someone ticks, you talk. Every time someone takes a dig, you dug. That's the eye for eye mentality. You're not going to advance that way. To be a leader, you got to learn how to take a lot. One of the examples of leadership is self-control. You have no self-control. I can look at you and tell what you're thinking. No self-control. Your nonverbals are on fleek. No self-control. You've got to learn how to smile when you feel like crying. You've got to learn how to be pleasant when you're pissed. You've got to learn. You've got to learn how to be respectful when you are mad and not give your enemy ammunition against you. You've been fighting enough. You've gone through enough. It's time for you to be promoted, but promotion can't come because you can't accept responsibility that you are the problem. Most of the things that happened to us, and I started out sharing this story about that young lady. I failed that test. I told her she wasn't getting nothing. Well, it wasn't what I said that made me fail. It's some of the things that I did. Because that lady, she tried to destroy me. She did. So I felt like I needed to do something to get her off me. That's not the behavior that we're supposed to have or maintain. Now, what I went through with that young lady, it played with my trust. And I do trust people. But in certain areas, it was extremely difficult. Because I know how people they will give, right? And there's an agenda attached to the gift. So it made me sensitive to receiving and accepting. And God send people trying to bless me. And I'm like, I'm all right. I'm all right. No, I'm good, cuz. and the reality is you can't be that way. Everything that God's going to do in you, he's going to use somebody and use them. He's going to flow through them to get to you. So DeWine says, her boss basically is a Trump follower, and he knows that get on her nerves and her body language. Sure. Why are you all allowed, DeWine, why, and I'm saying this to you, DeWine, but I'm saying to everybody. So if you know they're Trump followers, you know the ignorance that come with that. Why are you surprised when ignorance exemplifies ignorance? Why are you shocked? It's kind of like Stevie Wonder, for instance. Why are you shocked that he ran into that table? He's blind. You can't blame a blind man for running in stuff and not being able to see stuff. And you can't blame someone who's ignorant. Can't blame them for being ignorant. That's who they are, and that's what they do. It shouldn't dictate, neither control the posture or position that you're in. You know they're ignorant, laugh at them, smile. It shouldn't get up under your skin. I deal with people all the time, and there's someone, I had a contract with this company, and the manager of that company that I had the contract with, he shouldn't be in management. And there were some interactions that I had. Well, I had to deal with him with wisdom based on what I knew about him. I know he's a grown man stuck in a child's brain. So because of that, why am I getting mad? Because he does childish things. That's who he is. I don't expect him to do anything better. So instead of being upset at their ignorance, instead of being upset at their ignorance, you need to remove the thing in you that caused them to get on your nerves. I accept ignorance from the ignorant. There are other things that you need to spend your emotions on. That shouldn't be one. There are black people being killed every day. We need you emotionally there. And we need you so emotional that you join forces with us to help us bring change. I don't need you at work tripping because they're Trump followers. They're ignorant. Tina McPherson, good morning. So you can't allow people to keep you from moving forward by being able to press your buttons and cause you to act out of character and lose or fail the test that has been presented to you for promotion. Can't blame nobody but you. You got to keep going. You got to keep gaining wisdom, understanding. All right? Any questions this morning? Y'all got anything y'all want to add? Anything you want to say? I need you to do me a favor, all of you. Tell your friends, your neighbors about the new coffee time. This is the new coffee time over here on YouTube. We got to build this channel. I need to have 1,000 subscriptions. I need you to subscribe. I want to give away gifts, but let me say this to you all. Your reaction to people who mistreat you says how mature you are, not how childish they are. All right. That's our lesson for today. Delta, thank you. That's our lesson for today. Thank you for joining me here on Coffee Time. Without your ears, I don't have a voice. You make this possible. Listen, you were born to win, predestined to succeed. There is nothing that can happen to you today that the wisdom on the inside of you is able to handle. The wisdom can handle it. But in order for it to work for you, you got to calm down, slow down, be quiet, and let wisdom speak for you. When wisdom speaks, you will always win. You all go have a productive day and be in charge of your own destiny by taking charge of your emotions. Yeah, you're the manager of that. If someone can make you feel a certain kind of way, they have power over you. Take your authority back. Practice. You have to practice and work at being disciplined. It takes time, but you got to start somewhere. You all have a great day, and always remember to think higher, speak life. Great day, everybody. Be productive. See you later on. Peace out.